We're good.
Hi everybody, I'm Susan Collini and welcome to our first of the month, July Wednesday Roundtable. And we have an interesting topic today. So this is not really medical today, this is just fun. And so we have a little bit of a different set going on today. So I'm going to introduce everyone. And oh, by the way, we're from the Renaissance Center and Age of Innocence. I didn't check that in. And first, on my right, your left is Sarah, who is our Age of Innocence manager, and she's also our social media coordinator. And next to me is Ronnie, and Ronnie is, since this is really about hair, Ronnie takes care of our PRP, our hair transplantation, and our stem cells.
Yep.
And to my left and your right, this is Lauren. Lauren's a new face on our roundtable. You may have seen her once before, but she is one of our hair specialists. Brandy, who is another hair specialist, could not be here today, so we want you to know we have a couple people that do what we're going to talk about today. And then to her, the next over here is Ashley, which you know, she's actually participating in hair extensions. So we like to show her, she's got some of the hair extensions in. And then again, beginning over here is Suzanne. She's our electrologist, and when you one side is giving hair and the other side is taking away. so I'm hoping that all of us can provide a little bit. I think Lauren's probably going to be doing most of the talking to you. And the one great thing I think that we do at Age of Innocence is Lauren specializes in how many different kind of extensions?
At least 6, maybe.
6. So if you've heard of it, we do it, and she does a great job with them. So I'm going to actually turn this over to Lauren, and we'll start talking about hair extensions.
Okay, hi everyone. If you know me, you know I've always been obsessed with hair extensions. That's why I have learned so many different techniques. What I love about all the techniques that I have learned and implemented to my clients is that there's a hair extension type for every hair type. So a lot of other places, for instance, will maybe only specialize in 1 or 2 types of extensions. Because I specialize in probably 6, 7 hair extensions, I know exactly what's going to work for your type of hair. For instance, thicker, fuller hair, you would be candidates for tape-in extensions or the hand-tied weft extensions. If you have finer hair, you would be a candidate for the beaded I-tip extensions or our great length extensions. If you're someone who wants to wear hair periodically but not keep up with the maintenance, then you are a candidate for the Halo Couture extension, which I have right here. This is a temporary extension that's connected with a fish wire. This you can put in your hair and take out the same day. There's no maintenance, nothing. So you can keep that at home with you. And if you're going out for a night and you just want long hair, fuller hair, you can wear that, but there's no commitment. The nice point is the Halo Couture is very price manageable. Yep.
I want one question in there. I just want to, because you were on a roll.
I didn't
but I just want to say, like, maybe some people don't realize what we're talking about with extensions. I mean, extensions are for people that want to have fun and adding new pieces of hair, different colors of hair, thicknesses of hair. If you have hair loss, it's a way to add hair. I think that that's something maybe our audience would be interested in. I mean, maybe you can expand about that as well, because people might not be understanding all the different types of hair extensions you mentioned. Because if I weren't in the business, I never looked into it before, so I don't know all those things.
So I'm going to get into explaining all the ones that I just mentioned, like one by one, and tell you the price points, the maintenance, all that good stuff. And I think what she brings up a good point, that there are people who like extensions because they're fun, they just want to feel pretty, but there are clientele who actually need hair extensions. If you have very fine hair, you're losing hair. Even for males, I've done male clients and put hair extensions on their hair to give them more fullness in the front. That can be done with women too. That set is more the great lengths, which I'll get into that. But just finishing off with the Halo Couture, yeah, that is a really nice one, just taking it in and out and not having any commitment. The price point on that runs anywhere from $300 to $600, and we do offer payment plans, you know, if you're interested in any of these things. So that's the price point on that. The next one I'll talk about are the tape-in extensions. Those are for people who have thicker hair. I wouldn't normally recommend them for anyone who has finer hair because they are very heavy. You need a lot of hair and coarse hair to be able to hold the weight on the bottom of your hair. Ash is going to show you what a tape-in extension looks like, but basically it is a rectangle piece of hair and your hair is sandwiched in between it, and the tape is like a glue adhesive and it's taped to your hair, so that's how it sticks to your hair. So she's going to show, while I'm talking about that, she's going to show you what that looks like. I have personally had the tape-in extensions in my hair multiple times. I love them because I have very thick, coarse hair. However, the only downfall that I don't love about them is when you do take them out, you have a lot of residue of the glue in your hair. So that can stay in your hair up to 3 to 4 weeks of washing it. So that's the only downfall with those. Also, when they're in your hair only moves up and down, not back to front. So you're a little limited in wearing them. You have to wear a low ponytail or a super high ponytail, but you can't do a lot with them. So that's tape-ins. Some people are candidate for those. I don't do a ton of those, like I said, because I don't love some of the other effects of them. The one brand that I do a lot of, I do the I-tip beaded extensions. So Ashley will show you those too. So basically they're individual strands of hair connected with a bead. Every bead, they're all throughout your entire head. So those beads, the really nice thing is there's absolutely no damage to your hair. You can put them in, take them out, there's no glue, no residue. They move front to back, up and down, and you have a lot of versatility with them. I probably do at least 20 to 30 clients with the I-tip extensions, and they all love them. Recently, I have just gotten into the great length extensions, and this is an interesting topic because I've been doing hair for 10 years. I wasn't always the biggest fan of the idea of great lengths because they are attached with a keratin bond, and I was always nervous that that would ruin the hair. However, I have been to the class, took the class for a whole weekend, came back, I've done it now on almost 10 people, and they are unbelievably amazing. I mean, if you're looking for the most seamless type of extension, the one that nobody knows that's in your hair, the one you can't feel, you're a candidate for the great lengths. Of course, great lengths are the most expensive one, and I forgot to talk about the price points of the other ones, but basically, tape-ins and I-tip extensions for the hair and the services are all about $1,000. Great length extensions are $2,500. With the tape-ins and the I-tips, the maintenance is every 5 to 7 weeks. You have to come in, get the hair taken out, and put back in. The benefit is that the hair is reusable. With great lengths extensions, it takes longer to put them in, but they do last 3 to 5 months in your hair. So you can get a lot longer out of the hair with that $2,500. Once you do take the extensions out, however, you cannot reuse them. So you have to buy new hair and do the whole process over again. The nice thing is, though, because we do payment plans, because you have a 3-month period of using those extensions, you can pay weekly or every 2 weeks, bi-weekly or monthly, up until you need your extensions done again, and that way the cost doesn't seem so much at one time. I think almost all of my clients, minus 2 people, are doing the payment in increments, so that it's not all at once. But yeah, I think, and most people here have seen me do all of the extensions on different people. My mom has used the halo in her hair.
To tell everybody I was your mother.
Yes. She has used the halo in her hair because she doesn't want any extra weight on her hair, doesn't want the maintenance, but wants that fun look every now and then for a certain event. So she has experience with the halo. I have used the halo. Oh, and I forgot to talk about hand-tied weft extensions. I missed one. So I'm just talking all over the place. Okay, but the hand-tied weft extensions are for the person who has thicker hair. So if you come to me with thicker hair, I'm either going to say you're a candidate for the tape-in extensions or the hand-tied weft. The hand-tied weft is basically comes in strips of hair extensions about this long, and they strip to your hair. You secure a bead to your hair, and then you stitch the long piece of extension to the bead, and that's how it's in your hair. So again, no damage, no glue, no anything in your hair. They're nice. However, the maintenance on that is a lot sooner. You really need the maintenance every 3 to 4 weeks with those. So again, they're not ones I totally love because I think you have to come very often to get them done, but they all look great. I mean, no matter what extension you get done here, they're always going to look amazing, and we are on call 24/7 if something happens, you need a quick fix or a quick touch-up, we're always here. I will have Ashley show you what the hand-tied weft extension looks like, and then the Great Lengths. The Great Lengths, like I said, right now they are my favorite extension that we are offering because they are so seamless. You don't feel anything in your hair. There's no bead. It's just a little keratin bond, and the keratin is made up out of your hair. So it's the nice thing is with a beaded extension will pinch your hair so that the nutrients sometimes can't get from the top of your hair to the bottom ends of your hair. With the keratin bond, because your hair is made up of keratin, the nutrients from your roots can go through the bond to the ends of your hair. So not only is your hair remaining healthy throughout the whole 3 to 5 months, you still have that seamless look, and you're able to wear them much more frequently without the touch-ups and without the maintenance costs inquired from them. And this hair, these are all tester dummies. Obviously their hair is not combed very well or done, but whenever I took a class, this is how I trained on these two mannequins. So I like to keep them so that I can show clients all the different options on what they can and can't do, what they're candidates for. The Great Length hair that they gave me to test is red, green, and blonde. So I can promise you we will not be putting those colors in your hair. Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to send it in or comment, and I'll try to answer the questions for you. But yeah, if you guys have anything to add, they've seen it. Ashley is probably the most familiar with extensions.
I have had just about every type of hair extension besides, I think we never did tape-ins, but everything else. And I tried the hand-tied, I usually got the beaded, I got clip-ins, the halo, but I would say my favorite are the beaded just because my hair is a little more fine and like naturally straighter. I tried the hand-tied and it was just too much hair for me, and that's like, I'm always like, oh, like the more hair the better, but it was just too much. It was, so anyway, but I've seen the Great Lengths, and every single person that went from beaded to Great Lengths was like the best I've ever seen their hair, so I might retire the clip-ins and go with the Great Lengths because they're just so seamless and they look really, really good, and honestly, I like them better than beaded, so.
And a lot of my clients, I have started them all on the beaded eye tip. We have the hair here, so if you were someone who just wanted a little bit of fullness right on the spot, we can do that for you because we have the colors here ready and available. The more Great Length extensions that we do, we're actually getting stock in a lot of those colors as well so that we can do Great Length extensions kind of on the spot. However, they do take a lot longer, so we very well may have to schedule you in a longer appointment, but they are available too. So all the people I've transitioned from I-tip to beaded, or I'm sorry, from I-tip beaded to Great Lengths are just completely blown away. their hair just looks and feels incredible. It's nice and light. They can't even tell they have extensions in. It really is the extension that's out of this world, I will say.
It really is.
And I didn't want to like them. I didn't want to like them because they're so expensive, and I felt bad charging people that because you can get extensions for cheaper that still look good. But I will say you get what you pay for.
They're unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You do unfortunately get what you pay for, and that is why we offer the payment plans for people so that they can still get the top quality extension, but be able to afford it and afford everything else in this world right now.
I know that occasionally, now I'm very fortunate, I have pretty good head of hair still. And too much maintenance for me. I'm like a no maintenance kind of girl. So, but I like to have an event or something, so occasionally I like to have some, that kind of just makes it a little bit more fun. And we can do some incredible updos that sometimes you can't do with your own hair. And I don't want to damage my own hair. That's the main reason that I do it, because some of the things that you have to do when you're having an updo or an event, I think are just too, trying for old hair. I'm looking at Ronnie like he knows what I'm talking about.
It's all right, I'm following along.
But he has a good head of hair.
Yeah, he has a good head of hair. So he wasn't one of our males that she recommended for extensions.
So, and speaking of males, and I'm sure Ronnie knows this, being a male, there are a lot of men who are thinning right here in the front, and it can be very traumatizing for them because they're getting older and they're thinning and they're losing their youth. Just like women feel, men, I find, feel the exact same way about their hair. The amazing thing about the Great Length extensions is that you can do them on male clientele as well. So the keratin bond is so small and finite, and it's the same color as your natural hair. So I can put the keratin bonds on the hair that you have and cut it into your hair so that it actually looks like you have much more fuller hair up in the front of your head. And going down that route too, you can always do the PRP with Ronnie and to actually grow your hair even more. But yeah.
Well, that was very informative. Do any of you have any questions, because she's gone down this route, and some of it might be new to Suzanne. I don't know if it's new for you listening to this, because you're always taking hair away instead of adding hair in your profession.
Well, I was thinking about, like, for the one that's the no maintenance one, if I just wanted, because I have really thin hair, sometimes I just miss having, like, a good, like, high ponytail. Can you do something like with that, or is it more like the lower style?
That one is probably a little bit tough to do a high ponytail with. The rim of this halo sits underneath your hair here, and then you pull your hair over it. And if you were to come to me for a consultation or interested in this, I would show you how to do it. But you take your hair and put it over. This headband sits right at the front here, and you pull the hair over. So once it's underneath the occipital part of your hair, it stays. You can move, you can do a cartwheel, it's going to stay. However, just like anything, if you pull it up over that occipital, it will likely come out. So you can do a side braid with it, you can do a low ponytail, and honestly a lot of the extensions are like that, where you only have minimal movement to do updos and different things with your hair. The only ones you have a lot more movement with are the beaded eye-tip and the Great Lengths.
One thing though, I do know the halo, I don't know if they will sell them anymore, but a couple years ago we got the ponytail extension.
Yes.
For me. So if you did want a high pony and you didn't want all the maintenance, you can literally just put your hair up, clip it in, and then it comes with a little piece of hair to wrap it around, and then it looks like you have a long, they come in long, short, whatever length you want, but I don't know if they still sell those.
They do still sell those, so and that was an extension I didn't talk about, but there are ponytail extensions as well. So you can put your hair up, put the hair extension right around your ponytail holder, and it clips right onto that. So you can give yourself a nice full high ponytail doing that. Now, and I think the one thing I want to stress to everyone too is I think a lot of people, when they think of extensions, they think, oh, it's too much, it's all over the place, and it's too long, or it's too much for me.
Nope.
If you fine hair, don't be afraid of extensions and afraid of it ruining your hair. We can do a very fine lines of extensions in your hair and cut them to the length of your hair so it still looks like your hair, the length didn't change, but maybe just add a little bit of extra volume so you can do a little bit more, you feel like you have a style, you don't feel like your hair is dragging you down. That's a really nice option to have. I will say as well, you guys all remember about 5 or 6 years ago, I got a terrible haircut in New York. It was so bad. The whole front of my hair was about 1 inch long. So, it takes years to grow that back, but I was missing the whole chunk of my here, and it was sticking straight up. So,
Wasn't it pink?
it was red at the time, then I colored it dark. But in the meantime, I had to wear extensions. Now, at the time, I did do the tape-in extensions in the front of my hair. But even with great lengths, I would probably have recommended that to myself if someone else could have done it back then. Just because it had to be really high, a really high extension, and it needed, I needed that extra hair in the front. So, and I think a lot of people are very much lacking hair right in the front. I think that that's a very common thing for women, especially, just like males thin hair, women do too. It's just you don't always notice it because we have longer hair. So even if you didn't want extensions all over your head, you can do just a few right in the front here to give you a little bit of extra fullness in the front and leave the back just like normal. So that it gives you that length, makes you feel more feminine, gives you, more options with your hair, and looks very seamless. So I've done hair extensions, all different types of people. The ones who want it for fun and love the long hair, and then the ones who need it. And I would say the ones with the thinner hair in the front are the ones that need the extensions.
Well, are there any questions, Sarah, that are coming online? I think that Lauren's been pretty explicit.
No questions.
Okay, either that or you're all sunning yourselves because
Yes.
it's beautiful here.
Outside.
That's
Oh,
right.
so
Because
nice.
July 4th.
And I'll just end it with one more thing because I can't stop talking. But I know we didn't really talk about maintenance. There isn't much to do with maintenance other than trying to avoid tangling. So to avoid the tangling, you just want to brush your hair. They recommend up to 3 times a day to minimize the risk of it tangling or becoming knotted or matted. If you have good hygiene, shower, and brush your hair, you shouldn't have any of those problems.
What about styling and blow drying and everything?
So all the hair extensions we use are all 100% human hair. So you can blow dry them, curl them, straighten them, do everything like you would do with your hair and the extensions. The extensions do come poker straight. However, all the types of extensions have a little minimal wave to them. So once you wash your hair and your hair kind of melts with the extensions, the extensions will honestly take shape of the texture of your hair. So if you have very wavy hair, it will also be wavy. If you have ringlet curly hair, we might have to order you the actual ringlet curly hair, but just anyone who has that kind of tousled hair, it will also look like that.
That was the one thing I love about the beaded. Like when I would get out of the shower or the pool and my hair would be kind of wet, it would dry and it would have that little mermaid look to it. And my hair is poker straight naturally, but it would kind of blend in if I tied it back a little bit, let it dry, and it would be like the perfect waves.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Questions? Well, I think that was great, and I think that people probably want to see photographs. So you can see a lot of photographs that Lauren and Brandy have performed on our clients and let them know where they can find those on our Age of Innocence website or Facebook. Tell them the location.
Yep. Right on our Age of Innocence page on Facebook and Instagram. I post a decent amount of photos on the hair extensions. I'm not always the best, ironically, at taking photos. I get too busy, but there are some on there, especially of the great lengths that you can see and fall in love with. And once you do, you can call, even if you're not totally sure, you can book a free consultation, and I'll walk you through what your options are, write down the price point for you so that you know. Mostly, like I said, with most of the other types of extensions, they're about $1,000. That includes the hair, the service, everything that comes with it. And the Great Links are about $2,500. That also includes everything. So yeah, that's really it.
Well, thanks, Lauren. It was great having everybody here, and we will see you August. I don't know what the date is. August. I can't believe it. I feel like summer's almost over here. Is the
I
August?
think
What's
it's
the
the
date?
4th because the 3rd is the day of my orientation.
Oh, there you go.
That's
So
the
August.
Tuesday.
It's the 4th.
So August the 4th, we will see everyone on August the 4th, and stay tuned for our topic. And it will be an interesting remainder of the summer. That's it, everybody.
One more thing. One more thing.
Wait, there's more.
One more thing. Just to clarify, with the iTip or tape-in extensions, even though I said price point is about $1,000, that is when you first buy the hair the very first time. That hair does last up to 3 to 6 months before needing to replace the hair. When you have to come in for the maintenance, which is every 5 to 7 weeks, the cost of that is only the service charge, which is usually anywhere from $145 to $200. So you aren't spending that $1,000 every 5 to 7 weeks. You're only spending that once, and then you're spending just money for this the service cost of taking them out and putting them back in. And that's it.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Round two. Okay, everybody. Thanks again, and we'll see you August 4th. Bye, everyone.
Bye.